Well, Israel has intensified its air assault on Hamas targets. The West Bank was also on the receiving end of a rare airstrike, just the second in 2 decades. And the threat of a broader war is increasing, following strikes in Syria as well as Lebanon. Joining us live now is the former Prime Minister of Israel, Ehud Barak. Mr. Barak, good to see you. Thanks for your time this evening, Now, not too many people have your experience operating in Gaza. What have you made of Benjamin Netanyahu's response so far?
I am not going to analyze Netanyahu personally. Israel did, after the first shock, it was unprecedented, probably the most severe blow that Israel suffered since its establishment. And after the first shock, we are a kind of defined species. We know how to unite facing a threat. 3 steps were taken. Israel mobilized 340,000 reservists beyond the regular standing army, so we have enough force, both in the south and in the north. Secondly, we got a lot of support from the United States, not just diplomatic support, but munitions, equipment, whatever we need, and they are deploying 2 aircraft carriers to the area. And that's a good signal for the Hezbollah, Lebanon, and even Iran. And then third most important element, a war cabinet was created, Netanyahu plus 4 people, but 2 of them are members of the opposition, leaders in the opposition. Both of them served in the last decade as commanders of the armed forces. One of them was also Minister of Defense. So now the warriors and the public who totally lost trust in Netanyahu during the 7th of October, they are now a little bit more quiet. They know that at least decisions will be made in cool head and under responsible consideration.
Leaders can, of course, be taken out, but can Hamas actually be destroyed?
Physically, its military capabilities could be destroyed, but it could not be completed from the air. You have to deploy tens of thousands of boots on the ground, enter into the Gaza Strip, which is no more than 200 square miles, take half of it, including the Gaza city, and first of all, take it over, and then spend there probably a few months or many weeks before it's hopefully clean. So that could be a...
But the ideology that Hamas follows, the ideology can't be taken out.
No way to erase ideology from the heads of people or to take from them the dreams or the wishes that they have. And Hamas got certain respect in Turkey, in Muslim Brotherhood, in Egypt, or even in Qatar.
Yeah.
But we are focused in destroying the military capabilities and put Hamas out of the ruling of the Gaza Strip and conveying to someone else.
Right, but as long as the ideology is still there, despite whatever damage Israel inflicts on Hamas leadership, might it not just return in the years ahead like it's done this time?
No, it's not the same. Ideology can live in the heads of people for generations without being translated into the kind of barbarian massacre, slaughtering innocent people that happened 2 weeks ago in Israel. If we destroy the military capability, there is no military capability. If we pass the torch in Gaza Strip to, let's say, a multinational Arab force, that within 6 months bring back the original owner, which happened to be the Palestinian Authority, backing them and helping them, and Saudis and Qataris can finance it, developing Gaza. It could be taken out of the hands of Hamas.
But couldn't Iran just restore its military capability?
Excuse me?
Couldn't Iran just restore its military capabilities if it's taken out?
No, repeat. You don't understand. They can restore and build military capability only if they control certain piece of ground with population and having it. Once you destroy their capabilities and throw them out of power, you take over the whole area, you kill whoever participated or perpetrated this terrible event, you make sure that there is no single rocket and single weapon, whatever, and you pass it to another force. It's major constraint. We have to find this seat. Some 15 years ago, I tried to arrange it and couldn't find an Arab common force to take it. But nowadays, different time. We have more 15 years of peace agreements with Egypt and Jordan. We have the Abraham Accord. Just 3 weeks ago, we had contemplating trilateral deals, America, Saudi Arabia, and Israel. So there are forces within the Arab world, backed by the Arab League, backed by UN Security Council resolution, who can take from us the control of Gaza and make sure that it's quiet until the original internationally recognized owner of the place, which is the Palestinian Authority. Hamas just took it over from the Palestinian Authority some more than 15 years ago through a violent, extremely violent coup d'etat. And this should be repaired, and it cannot restore its military possibility without having control of the Gaza.
Mr. Barak, the death toll is now approaching 5,000 in Gaza. The comparison now is 4 dead Palestinians for 1 dead Israeli. At what point does the response become collective punishment, if it isn't already, as some have claimed?
It is not. And in fact, we cannot. We are committed to the international law. We are warning once and again, every day. We tell them exact quarters that will be attacked. We told them 3 days or 4 days ago to leave the northern part. Some 700,000 left. Some 300,000 still remain under a gun pointed to their heads by the Hamas, who want to use them as a human shield against Israeli attacks. So we will not give impunity to those terrorists who slaughtered our civilians just because they are cruel enough even to their own people in order to hold them as a kind of human shield. And we repeat the request for everyone who knows that is in either place he lives or works, they were or are already working Hamas operation of whatever type to leave the area, because all of this become target. And we don't draw moral equivalence between the slaughter that happened two weeks ago and the fact that people who are warned once and again that we are going to touch it because of the terrible crime against humanity that happened in Israel, and they unfortunately do not leave.
Sure. The problem is, though, that, I mean, you're talking about the most densely populated part of the world. Where are people going to go? They've got nowhere else to go.
They have where to go. The other part of the Gaza Strip is over 100 square miles. UNRWA, which is a UN organization, already built the tents. We will allow convoys of supply and whatever is needed to come from Rafah in Egypt. So they can. It's not a problem of how to live for several months until we make sure that there is no physical capabilities of Hamas, and whoever was participate in it would be a target, a legitimate target for our operation. We are determined. I don't believe that any country on earth would allow Al-Qaeda or Daesh, ISIS-like forces to live 100 yards from its border and operate within its sovereign area, slaughtering innocent civilians. That cannot happen, should be stopped. It's a crime against humanity. I expect any modern country to back Israel, and I promise you we'll do our best to reduce to the minimum what's called collateral damage, but basically it's innocent people killed as a result of being coerced by Hamas to stay over their heads to protect them.
Okay. Ehud Barak, really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you again soon.